Hi guys, this is a video of my visit to see Avengers Infinity War. It contains a lot of spoilers, so if you haven't actually seen this movie, I strongly advise you don't watch this video, unless of course you don't plan on watching it anyway, then have at it. It's released initially to my patrons, the $5 pledges and above, as one of the early access videos. I generally do this when they are non-game review videos. This isn't a review, by the way, of Avengers, although I do kind of score the video. It's not a proper thought-out review. It's just my initial reaction after coming out of the movie house. It's similar to the one that I did on Star Wars. So if you watch that one, you'll be very familiar with this and that we drive on the correct side of the road. So I hope you enjoy it. This is me going out today to see Avengers. There's no spaces. Welcome to see Avengers.
Luckily, we booked already.
We booked because we're the Griswolds. Oh, are you coming out, mate? Oh, you prick. No, that'll not be a space. That'll be a hidden secret car. It's a space. It's a space. I'll have this. I'll buy that for $1. Yeah. No, I'm going to pretend I'm coming out to piss people off. Yeah, I'm coming out, seen the movies, it was great. Oh, look, there's a red car saying, oh, look, there's a guy coming out. Yeah, I'm coming out. LOL! See, now I can go and watch a movie. Out the way, I'll run you over. So we've just been in and we're just out. And yeah. What a pile of shit! No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was the 3D sucks. Alright? 3D ruined it for me. It was absolute shite, the 3D. It was like blurred around the... You know when the fox was sitting on that log at the end? I don't know if you noticed, but the log was actually moving. The log was actually moving because it was so fucking bad, the 3D, that the log was actually moving while he was sitting down on it. It just... Oh.
Nothing was in focus.
No, everything was blurred and they looked like miniature people half the time. Do you know what it was like? It was like watching a cutscene on an Oculus Rift. That's what it was like. It was just like VR with a cutscene. In fact, the whole movie was just a cutscene from a console game. That's what it was, the whole movie. Do you know, the credits at the end, when it came to the animators and the CGI, it went on for about 10 hours. There was just hundreds of names.
Credits were longer than the movie.
Yeah, all the people that do CGI and video, all them, you know, camera crew, 3 people and a dog called Freddy. That was it. You know, the whole movie was just a giant CGI mess, really. I mean, I love the Avengers. I collected the comics as a kid, and I've pretty much liked all the Avengers movies, but they're just getting more and more swamped in CG bloody eye, and the action in CGI just... It looks shit. There'll be spoilers in this from this point on as we talk about the actual story. So if you haven't watched the Avengers, then you might want to switch this off now. But yeah, the story was all right. Just it wasn't done that well. You said there was too much going on, but for me, they tried to make Avengers Star Wars. I felt like I was watching a Star Wars movie, even early on with the spaceships. Yeah. They kind of looked a bit Death Star-y in that, and I just thought, hang on a minute, this is a little bit Star Wars-y. And then that big battle at Wakanda, or whatever it's called, that was just straight out of a Star Wars movie. And they had a lot going on, you know, they had Doctor Strange and Iron Man and that little spider he's awful. He's awful. I mean, why is he even there? He's shit anyway, Spider-Man. Just fires sticky stuff around. It's, you know, so I don't like him. So there was him, Iron Man and Doctor Strange fighting on one, like, place. And then on the Earth, there was the big main battle, exactly like in a Star Wars movie, where you have the space battle going on at the top, and then down on the Earth, you have the big bloody huge war going on with. I mean, they brought in all them little monsters. You know, them little freaky monsters. It was just like, yeah, they came out of nowhere because we need a big battle. Just invent some little stupid freaks. All right, then we've invented them all, and you can just run at all these people from Wakanda or whatever it is who've got the big shield up, and there's look at the traffic. It sucks. And that was it. All seemed to me, right, the whole battle on it. I mean, I'm probably going to get flamed for this, but it just seemed to me a giant setup for the sake of doing it. It didn't seem to fit in at all with what the hell was going on.
It looked like they just threw random bits together to make a movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was going well up to that point, trying to get all the different stones. You know, I was well into all that. You know, I could see the guy why he wanted them and all that, and it was all going well. And you know, Doctor Strange I thought was great in the whole movie. I thought he was awesome. I didn't think they needed to have that big fight. I just think it would have been much more dramatic if they'd kept it personal. I mean, I've read hundreds of Marvel Avengers comics, and there wasn't one story that I can remember reading where there was a big battle. The Avengers were never about huge mass battles. They were always about the personal stuff that was in the early Avengers movie. And they've kind of gone from that now, and they've put them in this huge Star Wars kind of scene. And I didn't like that. I just thought that was... it kind of spoiled the movie. That and the CGI, that and the 3D just kind of spoiled it for me. And they tried to bring too many characters in as well. I mean, the guy with the arm, you know, what was he even doing? He had... I mean, even Scarlett Johansson was only in it for like a tiny bit, you know. She may as well not have been in the movie. She did a couple of kung fu kicks, and that was it, you know. They tried to squeeze too much fruit into the blender. That's the way I saw the movie. I would have much rather axed half the characters that just, you know, didn't have much of a part. And where was Durham Cathedral?
Yeah, I know.
You know, Scarlett Johansson was sleeping 4 miles from my bed, filming at Durham. And it wasn't even... Do you know where I think it might have been? Near the beginning. You know, when they were in Edinburgh. There was bits there that I kind of thought, was that the cathedral there? So, what I'm going to do is when it comes out on video, on DVD rather, I'm definitely going to watch it again because I think I'll enjoy it more. And top tip, if you are going to see this, don't go and watch it in 3D. Because the 3D is absolute piss. It really is. It's not worth watching in 3D. Kind of ruins it. I will be watching it again. I mean, it's not a bad movie, but it's just kind of a dumbed down Avengers movie. Really, they've kind of... I don't know who directed this, but it feels to me that it's getting less like the Avengers. It almost seems like they're just raping the name Avengers, you know. I mean, they weren't even in their Avengers uniforms half the time. It just didn't feel like an Avengers movie to me.
It wasn't about them, it was about all the action.
Yeah, it just... The Avengers are a tight-knit group of people. They don't fight wars. They generally take down a couple of villains. But in this, it's just like a mass brawl, you know, and it just didn't suit them at all. It's just not there. You know, even though I did like the one when they were fighting all them freaks from the same guy in the last Avengers or whenever it was, that was done better though than this. This is just, it's not good. It's not. I'd give it like 6 out of 10 to be honest. I'd probably give it about 7 out of 10 if it wasn't in bloody 3D. I'm blaming you for that. Oh, let's go watch 3D. I'll be great.
Well, to be fair, I've never seen 3D look that bad.
It was bad as well. The popcorn was nice, mind. Didn't suck your lips off this time. It was quite nice. Oh, I can't. I've got to mention this.
Acting credit.
Oh yeah, you know which bit I'm going to mention. Mm-hmm. The bit where I couldn't stop laughing, and I actually had to look at I literally had to look at the emergency exit and try and block my mind out to what was actually happening because I was going to be ruining the movie for everybody. I literally couldn't stop laughing. And that is Peter Dinklage as the dwarf, who's a 10-foot tall dwarf, who talked so badly. His accent just... I mean, you know, as a Game of Thrones fan, you watch him all the time, and he's my favourite character. One of my favourite characters in Game of Thrones. He's awesome. And the voice that he has totally doesn't suit him at all. It was like, this is a mole! I was like, what the f***? He sounded like he was pissed. It was just so bad. How did that get approved? It's worth going to the movie just to see him. Because you'll laugh your tits off. I'll let her in. She's got blonde hair and nerd glasses. Yeah, there wasn't, was there?
I felt like they were trying to do too much all at once, which kind of ruined it for me, because you just couldn't get connected to any of the characters, any of what was going on.
I don't mind films that kind of do a lot of shit like that. I don't mind that at all. I loved the Star Wars, the way they did that, but it just didn't work. Oh shit, I'm in the wrong lane. Not get in. Is he going to let us in? Yeah, he is. He's a white van, man. He'll be fine. He recognises me as working class and says, "All right, mate." He looks at me shitty car and knows I'm working class. That's... See that Audi? I'd never let him in. Movies used to be huge, big, massive events with, like, thousands of people in. If you're going to do big battle scenes now, they just replace all them with CGI. I'm just a bit, disappointed. It could have been so much better. I like the story, mind. I do like this whole story about going for the gems and that, the stones. It's a good story, and
I think he got them all a bit too fast and too easy.
Possibly. Iron Man got his ass kicked, which was fun. That was fun. But the Hulk was shit. Thor was pretty decent, I thought. It was quite nice seeing Thor getting his ass kicked. But you just know they're going to undo all of this. Go on, I'll let you in, you blonde. It's fine. Shall we do a little game? Okay, we'll see how many women we can spot in big cars coming home from work. Because remember, we live in this world where women don't get the opportunity. It's all about men getting the money and men running everything. So let's just see, shall we? Let's just see. Let's wait for he's an Audi coming past. Is it a man or is it a woman? Well, it's an old Audi, so forget it. Here we go, Audi. But it's a woman. Yeah, it's an expensive Audi. Watch this. That's a fat guy. Okay. He probably works for a woman. Hey, I saw 2 lesbians in the Metro Centre today, didn't we?
Yeah, that was your highlight.
That was the highlight of the day. 2 lesbos. Hey, they were real. Weren't CGI. Oh, nearly a crash. Yeah. Stop texting, you prick.
I like how they pick a footpath in the middle of nowhere to repair.
Because they're using the there you go. Does that explain it? There's Mr. Whippy. Never seen him for years. Did you see him? Mate, that's not running. I don't know what that is. What was he doing? That was a kind of a funny walk.
I love this part.
Yeah, it's nice. I used to bring my dog down here.
What was she called?
Alison.